Good morning and welcome to the next session. The next session is going to talk about conducting data science interviews and what are the issues in the conduction of a data science interview and how interviews are sometimes not a correct replica of a person to be selected. So, let us see how a data science interview is all about and how people want to prepare for a data science interview and how the failures are there. Now, what we are going to learn through this presentation is how to conduct an efficient data science interview. That means, if I am conducting an interview or if you are a student for a data science interview, how efficient it will be. Second is explore how a hiring process can be tied to a real work experience so that candidate you are looking for will clearly understand the job you are looking for. So, if a candidate qualification and experience matches with your expectation or not, there is the second point. Point number 3, get rid of unnecessary interview rituals and make the hiring process a more efficient. So, our objective of conducting an interview for a data science project is make the unnecessary rituals not needed and make the hiring process more conducive, more efficient. Definitely, how long does it has been since you went through a technical interview? So, if you ask a question, last time when did you appear for an interview? Okay. So, sometime we will say my interview experience was not pleasant. So, you can see that a interview was like a trauma. At the end of the interview session, you feel more of a headache rather than feeling a pleasant. So, can you judge the relevance of your interview question to your day-to-day work? Now, if you look at the learning objective, you can see that there are two contradictions. One is the person who is going to get interviewed and another is the person who is taking the interview and the atmosphere through which you are getting a experience. So, is it a conducive experience or it is a trauma or it is a experience where I have a phase where I cannot know what I am looking for, what I did for and what is the outcome, and I am so much in the confused state. So, this is what we call as a learning conducting a technical or a data science interview. We imagine that we are using a rational way of thought to pass a candidate through a sieve. So, whenever we want to conduct an interview, we are asking so many number of questions, and not only questions, we are asking some technical as well as non-technical too. So, the candidate has to pass through a sieve, selecting only the stellar experts. So, do you think that the people who are expert in the field will be available for you? Answer is definitely no. So, selecting only the stellar expert who will do the job. So, definitely you will not find the people who are having a good experience or a expert in one particular field, but do not know other field. In fact, interviews are always biased and especially so is the technical or many things you require from a person and the person does not have all the technical abilities. So, they are called as deeply flawed. There is almost no correlation between the success in an interview and success at the actual job. So, I may become a successful candidate for a interview, I got a offer later, but however, I will be a very failure in my actual job because there is no relevance or there is no correlation between my interview and my job profile I am being offered. Do you select a person on a random basis or do you select a person on a technical basis? So, next question is, do random candidate selection show better result than hiring a process for many companies? So, can I choose a person on a random basis? We do not know right now the answer, but we will see how this answer will be a better choice. We will cover the following: common flaws in technical interview, introducing values and ethics in the interview, very important for our course called as security and ethics, designing a good interview questions and designing a good interview session. So, with this background, let us see how we go. So, what are the common flaws for a technical interview? If you have a software engineering background, how often you have been interviewer have asked you to reverse a binary tree on a whiteboard and to find out a maximum of a subarray. So, nobody explain or nobody asks you to go to the whiteboard and explain the on the whiteboard a binary tree reversal or a maximum subarray sum. If you are coming from a data science background, how many central limit theorem proof did you lay out on a piece of paper or a whiteboard? So, again a central limiting theorem. So, another mathematical formula you have to derive. So, are you expected to derive a central limiting theorem and the proof of it? Okay, this is the question, or this is the common flaw. If you are a good team leader, have you asked such questions yourself? So, the underlying is, if you are a person who is going to take the interview, have you asked such questions to yourself? It is not implying that those questions are not, but they are very good, quite opposite true. The reason is, you are trying to find out the person's imagination power, you are trying to find out the person who is having a conceptual knowledge or not. So, knowledge of core computer science algorithm and ability to derive the proof may be important for a good job, but for what is the purpose we do not know, and that is why we ask the question. What do we want to know about the person on the other side of the table? So, these are some of the common things which we have to worry about the interview too. So, let us see that for most of the companies, the ability to give answer to those questions is not relevant at all. So, what should we do then? Then what is the reason for asking them? Then why should a interview panel should ask them? Now, this is a very important question we are asking ourselves and to the interview committee. Well, because stereotypical programmer may know algorithm, very true. Data scientists must know their mathematics and statistics. So, if I am a typical programmer, I know a lot of algorithm, I know how to design a good algorithm, I know the accuracy of the algorithm, time complexity of the algorithm, and so many number of characteristics of the algorithm. And if I am a data scientist, then I should know the mathematical strategy. This way of thinking is logical and straightforward. So, the way you look at the problem, very simple, straightforward and logical. So, a computer science person need to have a very good logic to build a good algorithm. A data science person have to have a very good knowledge about the mathematics and statistics applied. So, when we think in this way, we imagine a general collective image of a rock star programmer and a data science. So, when we are thinking in this way, we are looking for a person who is a very good in programming, who is a very good in data science wizard. So, reversing binary tree may be relevant for some project in some company, but why it is relevant for you? Okay. So, if you are open minded, critical and honest with yourself, then discussion and and the course content will not give a secret knowledge to improve the interview. So, you have to have some more technical and non-technical questionnaire. So, it will give you tool, but if you invest in them, you will get back more straightforward and simple enjoyable interview that will find a right candidate to the right job. So, what we do? Searching for a good candidate you do not need. So, most companies are looking for a developer, stellar data scientist and continuously purely best people in the entire world. So, if I am hiring a person, I am looking for a person who is the best in the world. Do you think do you think such people are available? So, let us look at data scientist job description from a real dashboard. Okay. The primary focus for a interview process is a candidate will be able to apply different techniques such as data mining, statistical analysis, build prediction systems, recommended system using a large company database. So, this is one of the dashboard requirement. Applying machine learning model and test the effectiveness of different actions. So, the candidate must have strong technical expertise and be able to use a wide set of tools for data mining and data analysis mode. So, that means you are supposed to have a good knowledge about data mining technique, data analysis and things like that. The next point is, the candidate must be able to build and implement mathematical model, algorithm and simulation. So, with this requirement in mind, can you find a candidate? So, now look at the requirement of a candidate. I will just list out, and in the next time we are going to talk about all these 35 requirement in more detail. I will just list out. So, I have, you can see here I have 1 to 7, then I have 8 to 16, so many requirements are there and we will go slowly one by one. Okay, and each requirement will see that it is being made or not. Similarly, you can see 17 to 24 and 25 to 35. Now, if you look at all this expertise required by a company, it will be very difficult for a company to get a person who has all this 35 listed what you call as qualification, experience and the technical competence. Okay. So, with this I will just conclude here, and next time I am going to talk about all these 35 proper companies requirement, and more of a what you call as a thought process, which way your company require, and what are the company make a pitfall by making a data scientist, and are you able to get a really a person whom you are looking for. So, with this I thank you so much.